Welcome back. Today we're going to be going through Lab 6, which should be the last lab before your midterms. Lab 6 is dealing with table joins, attribute joins. I've got a big old cup of coffee here ready to keep me awake, so let's go ahead and get into table joins. Table joins are really cool and really useful because you can take information from one table and join it with information from a shape file. So you can join those two together and build your data set for your data set to have more information that you can work with. It's really cool. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and create a new map. As usual, this is lab 6. Lab 6, not 5, 6. Do the same thing that we usually do. Labs, okay, okay, and we will remove topographic. There we go. Remove. Okay, so we've got a blank map right here, right? Page 1 of table join lab says after opening ArcGIS Pro, creating a new map project, turning off topographic layer, add demographics.shape and examine its attribute table. So we will go to map, data. We'll go to lab 6 data that you have. Well, if I can find it. Here we go. I've worked on this before, so I've got a couple of other files in this, but we're going to go ahead and add demographics data right here. We've got two files here that we can add. Well, we're going to add demographics.shape first. And it looks like this funky piece right here. We're going to look at the attribute table. So you right click, attribute table. We'll expand this out. It says examine the attribute table. All you really need to look at here is, you've got, shape, area, perimeter, whatever. We've got something called block group, which is values for the block groups here. If we select, like number 2 here, it corresponds with whatever was selected here. Let's see where that's selected to. Yeah, it's this tiny one right up here. That's part of the block group right there. And that's why we couldn't see it. It's very small. So that's block group 2, and block group 3 would be, that selection there. Block group 4 would be that one there. And I'm going to take a wild guess and just kind of guess that they're going to go, on down like that. There's 167 block groups here. Let's see, we've got block group ID. Great, it's an ID number. All right. Block group, the number here, this is probably some sort of ID number as well. I have no idea what they mean, but I do know that this is the field that we're going to be paying attention to right here, block group. Not the one with the underscore, block group. Okay, so number 1 says check the block group field and take note of the values contained within the field. Great. They're numbers. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close that, I believe. And then it says add more data.dbf. dbf is just a regular database file. We looked at that earlier. So we'll add this. And we'll see over here in the table of contents, it adds under standalone tables, right? Because it doesn't have any shapes associated with it. It has no geographic data associated with it. Number 2 says it appears on the table of contents, standalone table. That's right. Nothing new was added to the map, right? Because there's no geographic data, no shapes or anything associated with it. But just like a shapefile, we can right-click on it and open to look at its attributes as well. We're seeing more data here. Take a look at this. Some of the fields here. It's got, a field called block group, HH80, HH90. This is households, I believe, and I believe this is how many households belong to this block group in 1980 and on down. Households 90, 94, 99. Percentage growth, population base, household income average, average household income. It's this right here. So that's basically what those fields are telling you. Still under number 2, it says to join non-spatial data, which is this field or this table here, to join non-spatial data to spatial data, which is demographics.shape, the two data sets must have a common field. This is called a key or a key field. Use the scroll bar at the bottom of the table if needed and look at all the fields of each table. Okay. How many variables does each table have? What variables are found in both tables? Remember I said we need to take a look at block group? This is block group here. We open this attribute table here. We see we have block group here. So we can use this block group field as a key field to join these two together. Whenever I mean join it, it's going to merge this data together. Everything that is found, what it's going to do is it's going to look for block group with this number here, right? Present in both tables. So you've got this block group here, and you've got this block group here. Those don't match, but it's going to find which ones match, and it's going to stick it all together in one thing, right? So what it's going to spit out is a joined table. This will make more sense in a second. This is a very cool feature, though. So number 4 says right-click. I'm going to go ahead and close more data. We see that block group is the key field here. So I'm going to go ahead and close these because I don't think we need them. It says right-click on the demographics layer and go to Joins Relates, add join. Because we're going to add a join. Got the add join window that comes up here, and this is basically a menu. I'm on page 2 of the instruction. It says this opens a menu in which you identify what you want to join and the basis of the join. The basis of the join's basis is its key field. So we know that block group is the key. So we're going to use that field as the basis to join both tables together. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to, our input table, we've already right-clicked on that. So that's going to be our input table. This is what we're joining to. We're taking data from here, the data that's contained in this table, and we're joining it to the stuff in the demographics table. When it's going to spit out, the attribute table is going to have all the information from here based on that block group field. Okay, so your input join field, remember we said that's going to be your key. Block group is the common field between those two. We're going to hit block group there, right? Join table is going to be more data because it's the only other one. But it's what we want to join it to. We're going to join from here to this, right? And the block group field, it automatically detected it. It's not always going to match it. That name's not always going to match exactly, but the values will match. And from here, I'm going to move on to page 3 of the instruction. It says click OK to perform the function. You may get a warning. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It's kind of weird how it works, and I honestly don't know why or how it spits out those warnings. But so I guess the join completed here. Let's take a look real quick. Okay, so sometimes something weird happens and your shapes, your features from your map will disappear. Not a big deal. You really don't have to worry too much about that. We've run the join. It says re-examine the attribute table for the demographics layer. Okay, so we'll look at the attribute table, and this is why we don't have to worry about our features here. You can see that. Remember that it stopped at block group. Well, now it has all that data added to it. So now we've got a demographics table that holds all of that household information. We didn't have it before, and now we do. And let's see, so it says, notice a larger table was created with more fields added to the right of the previous fields. Joining the tables took the fields from moredata.dbf, added them in the correct positions in the demographics table. And so now we have a demographics table with, household income, population base. We added that data in there. So now we have a, a shapefile that we can work with, do stuff with. Yeah, the instruction even says occasionally ArcGIS Pro will glitch and newly joined data will no longer display, but the data is available in the attribute table. If this happens, move on to step 7. Great, we'll do that. You need to know that this join is known as a temporary join, okay? If you were to close ArcGIS Pro and re-add the shape, open a new map and all that and re-add it, those newly added fields over here would be gone because it's a temporary join. You have to save this off as a new file. The instruction says ArcGIS Pro only does table joins on the fly. Save the join file permanently, you will need to export a new file. To permanently save, yeah, we're on step 7 now. To permanently save the join dataset, right-click on the demographics layer. We'll go to Data and Export Features. And I'm going on to page 3 of the instruction. We need to click this folder for the output function, or I'm sorry, output location. And we're going to choose where we want to store this. So I need to go and find where I want to store this. I probably already have this created. Lab 5. Actually, it's going to be here for me. Actually, no, this is lab 6. My bad. Lab 6. Right. Data. Yeah. And I've got it. Yeah, I'm just going to stick it under results. We're going to call this. Oh, well, this is just the output location. I'm going to stick it in results. And we'll call this demographics underscore joined SHP. That's all you really need to do here. Just make sure that this is saved in your output folder, whatever that output folder is. Sometimes I do create a folder called for results for whenever I have to write out new shape files. But as long as it's just not that lab6.gdb, don't save it there. And then you need to make sure that this says, your output name dot shape. When that's done, we're going to go ahead and hit OK. It's going to run and create a new feature class. And hey, there's our shapes again, right? Close that. Zoom to layer here so we can take a look. Yeah. Here. So like I said, don't worry that your features disappeared. It's weird how it does this glitch sometimes. This is actually my wife's computer that I'm on. This doesn't do this on my laptop, but it does it on her computer. And I've got the more updated version of ArcGIS Pro on this computer than on my laptop, so I don't know what the glitch is. I wish I did, or I would fix it. But in any case, that's what happens. But you saw that, let's see, on page 4 it says a new shapefile will be created in the folder you specified, which is your results folder. And a new layer called demographics join will be added to the map. We're going to go ahead and remove this temporary join over here. Just right click here, remove, gone. And now we're going to learn about how selecting on this join table. It's pretty easy stuff. We've done selecting like this before. We're going to open the attribute table and take a look at what's in here. It's got its original data and the added data. We're going to hit select by attributes to make a selection. Select by attributes dialog box, create a new expression for household percentage growth. That's going to be this here. So where household percentage growth is greater than 0. Greater than 0. We'll hit apply and see what happens. Looks like 154 of 167 are selected. Move that out of the way. Move the layer. There we go. That's a better view right there. So that's what you get whenever you get 154 of 167 had a household percentage growth grow over this time period. I don't know what that time period is, but I'm relying on it to be accurate. So it says, let's see, I'm going to hit OK and hit clear. The selection identified all the block groups with positive population growth. Examine the selected block groups on the map. Quiz question 1. How many block groups have positive population growth? That's what we just looked at. So there you go. Any growth greater than 0 is 100 and something. So I'm not going to tell you the answer. You just saw it. You just saw how to do it. I'm sure you can figure it out. And I'm smacking my hands because I know you can figure this out. In the attribute table, click clear to clear the selection. That's for you guys. I've already cleared it. In the end, let's see. Next, you'll make a selection for a different set of criteria. In the attribute table, click select by attributes. Now you will select blocks that have both. These are our blocks that have both population growth greater than 0 and income less than 30,000. You'll need to build 2 expressions. That's correct. The next quiz question is, if I did this for you, it would show the answer, so I'm not going to do it. But it's just basically you just enter the correct fields here, enter the correct operand here. Yeah, nothing too hard about that. You've got your income is this here. Your percentage growth is here, so that's pretty easy to figure out. Go ahead and close that. Okay, we're going to calculate a new field. Next, we'll calculate the per capita income and store the information in a new field. This ought to be fun. Per capita income is average household income times the number of households divided by total population. So we're going to clear all our selections. We've already done that. Then click open the attribute table for, okay, that's open, and click the add button next to field. We're going to add a new field. We're going to call this field TOT underscore income, no spaces. We're going to give this a data type of double. Precision over here is something we haven't really looked at, and that I'm not really going to go into. It's not too terribly important. But we're going to call it, we're going to give this precision 12, scale 2. And then it says click here to add a new field. Matter of fact, I don't like where that is. I'm gonna put that right there. Here. Okay, so we've got this field created. We're going to click here to add a new field. We're going to add a second field. We're going to call it per cap in. I think we're going to call this a double 2. Yep, we're going to give it a double. Precision 12, scale 2. 12. There we go. 12. 2. When we're done with all that, we're going to hit save. If you need to follow the instructions, it's going to be under fields here. We just go up and hit save. And once these changes are applied, we're going to go ahead and close this out. There we go. Our fields are added. Close that out. We'll look for the fields here. Right. We've got total income here and per cap in right here. New fields. Okay, so now that we have created our 2 new fields, we're going to start populating some stuff inside. It says right click on the field heading and calculate field. And basically all we have to do is build a new expression. We did this in the last lab. We're going to build this expression here as HH90, household 90, times, no, there we go. I double clicked. There we go. Okay. Times household income, average. Double click that, and we'll hit OK. And that should populate inside of here and total income. There we go. Big numbers here. So we'll go ahead and keep going here. It says inspect the total income field, you calculate it, and check a few values. I'm just going to check the first one. Find my calculator. It was household 90, right? Yeah, household 90. 412 multiplied by 49217.34 equals. Drag this back over here if I can. There we go. Yep, this number is that number. So it looks like that it worked correctly. Are these values equal to the number of households multiplied by the average income? Yes, it is. Question 3 is how many block groups have total incomes less than 5 million? That'd be pretty easy to do. Just there's a variety of ways to do it. You could do a sort by query, or sort by ascending, and then do a select by attributes. It's probably how I would do it. Easy stuff though. You could manually count them. I never recommend doing that. Let the computer do the hard work for you. There's almost always a way that you don't have to. That's the reason a GIS exists. Well, one of the reasons you don't have to go through and count these things manually. You know, if you're having to count things manually, it means you're not letting the computer do the work for you, and there's something you probably need to review. Okay, so number 7 on page 7 asks, right-click the field column for the field column heading for the field cap in. Go to calculate field. Calculate per capita income as total income. Double-click, divided by population base. Double-click that. We'll hit OK, and that should populate here. Easy stuff. How many block groups have per capita incomes greater than $20,000? Another really easy one to do. I would probably sort. Do it. Yeah, just do it either sort ascending or descending, whichever you feel comfortable with, and select by attributes. Should be easy from there. Create a map output. Let's see here. It says next we'll create a map of a JPEG, capita income. A graduated color map would be useful to visualize continuous variables such as per capita income. Using the skills we learned in previous labs, we can do this through Symbology. Close the attribute table. I'm going to go ahead and zoom the layer here. Close the attribute table. Clear all selections on the map. They're clear. Uh, right click demographics join and go to Symbology. It's here. That pulls up here. We'll change our primary symbology to graduated colors. We'll change this field here to per cap in. And we're going to give this class, we're going to put this in 7 classes. That's probably going to give us a greater variety and allow us to show more differentiations between per capita income. Pick a color scheme that appeals to you. I don't like this one, but I really don't feel like wasting your time going through and looking for a new color deal. I'm just gonna look real quick to see if I can't find what's given in the instructions here. It looks like a red to green. I really don't want to waste your time for this. Looks like red to green or green to red. Yeah, red to green. Yeah, we'll select that one. I don't like that, so I'm going to reverse that. Yeah, it's a little better. I'm not a big fan of these colors here. I would I would change them. Honestly, I wouldn't use the ones that were given in the instruction. I would probably use something probably closer to, something like this. Yeah, that's much easier on the eyes. You've got a nice gradient versus all those harsh colors that are against each other. Okay, so I'm on page 9, and it says change the resolution to 300 dpi. Oh, so it's already gone through and you've already gone through and done a layout. Basically, what you want to do here, you go to Insert, Layout. We know that this is taller than it is wide, so I'll use Portrait. The letter, 8.5 by 11. Just go through a little bit of this for you. We'll do map frame. It's going to be this one, so we'll put our map frame in here. Basically want to fill the space here, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go really far into this because this is kind of your work that you're supposed to be doing. But I'll make myself a square here. I don't know. We'll hit in the table of contents. I'll go to hit zoom to layer like that. You see how it's zoomed? You've got equal space on the top and bottom. You can even bring in this here, side. So, you've got some space to, you've got empty space here, here, and here. You could, I don't know, you could scoot that over just a little bit and center it up some. There we go. You could put your title there at the top. This is per capita income by block group. Block group per capita income. Choose a good title. Make sure you put the north arrow here, just right there, and make sure you put your scale bar. Your legend. Make sure in your legend you delete that. Don't call this demographics joined. Call it, per capita income, because this is not demographics joined. This is per capita income, and that's what you're going to call it. So make sure and change that name to per capita income. Let's see, with legend, authorship statement. The instruction says this map was created by your name for your course. Is this week 6? Yeah, week 6 lab on today's date. Pretty easy stuff. So yeah, that's table joins. I'm going through the rest of the instruction here. Yeah, even the example has some examples for the title and how your legend should look. If you wanted to change, instruction doesn't show this, but if you wanted to change this to currency, you could go back into your map frame here, How do we do that? Go to Symbology, your labels. You can do, trying to remember how off the top of my head how to do this. I believe it should be under advanced symbology options here. Yeah, we've got numeric here, so it goes down, and you want currency, right? Because this is per capita income. If we go back over into here, so then we've got dollar signs here for your labels. So these are your labels that are going to end up in your legend, right? So if we come back over here to layout, we can see that that changed over here. And these are going to end up in your legend. And that's how that works. Let's look at the examples some more. Yeah, that's really about it. Um, shouldn't be too difficult. I'm sure you can get this done in a decent manner. But as always, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But like I said, as always, I'm usually around. We're going to be around to give you a hand with whatever help that you need. So if you do need help, let someone know, and we will get to it.